I'm going to give you a really quick intro here into who I am and what you can expect from this video. Please do watch till the end if this is something that you think will be valuable to you, because I promise you will get some good tips from it. What I'm here to talk about today is one very simple way you can grow your clientele quickly, create client loyalty so that people want to come see you. What we're talking about today is head massages. I do think this is often a very overlooked part of the appointment. It to your client is sometimes the thing they're looking forward to the most. It's such a special treat for them. And so we're gonna go over my technique of giving a head massage today. We're gonna be using my mannequin. I also think I do great hair, and I think my clients are very happy with my hair service, but this just is that little extra step that really creates client loyalty. So let's get right into technique, because this is what matters. It's really important to have both hands on the head at all times that are possible. If I can still be at least holding their hair to give it a little tickle on their scalp, then I'll do that. If at all possible, leave one hand on the head at all times and touch their head with the balls of your fingers here. When you can put your fingers like this, that's always gonna feel really nice. I do that wherever I can around the head, top here and down in the back here, kind of going lengthwise like that. Right, my head massage is really leveled up when I learned about the proper pressure on the client's head. One thing I noticed about this girl that always gave the best head massage in my salon was that her pressure was more than most, but it didn't hurt. It's really important to use the balls of your fingers here, not your nails, because you don't want to scratch people, not here because it doesn't feel the same, it doesn't have the same impact. But if you push on people's head with the balls of your fingers and you apply a firm yet not hard pressure, it feels nice. And you can practice that on your own head. And also, like your hairstylist, it's a good thing to practice on each other. Some really good points on the head to focus on. One of them is on the hairline right here. This just feels so nice on your clients. Right on the hairline, always in a circular motion. Part of the head that is really good, occipital bone here, and here, if you feel on your own head, you can feel like your skull kind of right there. That spot feels so nice to rub. I'm not talking about beneath it, where an area beneath the occipital bone that can be a little bit sensitive, but if you go on the occipital bone where it's at the lower part of the scalp here, that feels really nice. So that's an area where you can make sure you're applying pressure. Here too, good pressure. A part to be aware of that's sensitive, of course, is the temple. It can be sensitive in around here as well, but it also still feels really nice. I'm always like, I make sure I'm applying firm pressure around the ears. Everything feels really nice around the ears. I tend to up just a little bit with my pressure around the ears there, so I'm not causing any headaches or anything. I personally get a headache if someone put my head too hard in the wrong spot. So if I'm doing a haircut appointment, like I said, the massage lasts 2 minutes. Then for hair color appointments, I give this just like I would if they a haircut. And then at that 2-minute mark, I bust this guy out. And that's when it takes the pressure off of me, because I'm no longer my hands in there and everything. I can stretch my back out a little bit, right? And I'm just rubbing this on their head. And I do it in the same way all the time. So I start up here and I go back and then I go here. And then I usually come up here and I go around the front part, covering all spaces, usually about 3 times. And then on the client and how it's going for them, then I'll start doing it down here, right? And the whole time that I'm doing a head massage, I'm observing the client's skin tension on their scalp, because if their scalp is really tense and the skin is really tight, they are likely a bit high strung, stressed out, not relaxed. If you notice the skin loosening throughout the massage, they are likely relaxing. With that, you should also see their breathing. It looks like they're enjoying it. So if they actually look when someone lays back and I notice how they're breathing right away, you usually can't see them breathing too much, but if they start to get relaxed, you can see their chest going up and down, and you can see it going slow, and you can see them taking a slow breath of air. My client is doing something. I don't want to stop. I want them to have a good experience. So I keep doing it within reason. That 5-minute mark, the head massage is over. So after I do this around the head, then I go over the whole scalp like this. And I just push on the hair like this. All these little things matter, right? You want your client to be the most comfortable that they can be. I have so many people when I'm done tell me that they almost fell asleep, and I'm always so happy to hear that because that is wonderful. I love that my chair is comfortable enough for them to almost fall asleep at the sink, and I love that I have given them such a nice massage that they almost fell asleep. I didn't mention this, but actually on my sink here, I have this neck rest that is like, this is the bomb. I got this on Amazon. It's a neck rest. It's like a pillow for my clients. Never felt one that feels more comfortable. This is just great. I love this thing here. Okay, so now I'm gonna give you an example of the head massage with mannequin here. So let's just get right to it. Of course, check on your client's comfort when they first sit down and make sure, is your neck okay? Does this feel comfortable for you? And then the next thing I'm gonna do is turn on the water. I'm not gonna be using any water today because I don't want this to be too loud for you guys to hear, but I would turn on the water and check the temperature with her. Is that temperature okay? Would you like it hotter or cooler? And then you're going to do your shampoo, of course. For a shampoo, I just do a vigorous scrub with the tips of my fingers here. I never use my nails. It's not hygienic to use your nails, in my opinion. I have some clients who like people to use nails, but I don't hear that very often. The tips of your fingers is just fine. Give it a vigorous scrub just like this, making sure you get all around, everything nice and clean, and then wash off the shampoo. To your discretion, if your client feels like they have any buildup on their hair or it just doesn't feel clean enough, or maybe you didn't use the right shampoo for their hair, give it another shampoo if necessary. There's no harm in that. I normally do one shampoo, but once in a while I do 2 shampoos. Observe them for a moment, take a look at their breathing. Do they look tense and uncomfortable, or do they seem pretty relaxed? And just take note of that. I always start at the top here, so I go down on the sides of the head. I keep both hands on at all times. I go down into the occipital bone here, and I make sure I run my fingers right along the occipital bone to the ears here and follow the ears back up to the top. And I just keep doing that. I like to do things in 3s or 5s. Sometimes I count, sometimes I don't. I just do this very intuitively. Another thing that feels great is I take my thumbs and I go on the hairline with the thumbs. So you see me moving her hair. My thumbs are going in a circular motion right on her hairline, kind of just above the temples, along the whole top of her forehead here, and then right up to the center, and I just keep going in a circular motion. I'll do that a few times. And then all the while, I'm also moving my fingers on the bottom. So at all times, all fingers are moving in one way or another. Feels really good on the head if you have fingers moving all over their head. So I do touch a lot on the hairline here. And then I do a lot of this down on each side and coming back up. And then I step onto the side of the chair here. So sorry about the view, but I step to the side of her here and I put my hands down the back and pull them up, and see my hands here are meeting. And I go like this, right up to her hairline, right down to the bottom of the occipital bone. And then my fingers, they meet, and I even push them together like this. So they're going down. So every time that your fingers spread apart on the client's head and come back together and intertwine like that, I promise you it feels really good. Make sure you have the pressure. My hands usually look about like this when I'm giving a head massage. So I do stand to the side of them here and do a little bit down the sides and the back, and it allows me to get some different angles. And then I step to the back here again. It's always best if you can work in a salon where you stand behind the client, because you can keep your back much straighter working behind your client as opposed to actually shampooing them beside them. I don't recommend a sink where you stand beside your client, but if that's what you have at your salon, maybe drop a comment below and we can talk about that. I just keep going with all those motions. The whole time I'm doing this, I'm listening to the music or the radio that's playing. I take note of exactly when we start, and I try to gauge the 2 to 5 minute mark. So if this was a regular haircut, that would be about it for the head massage. And then when I'm all done, my last step is I go on their hair like this. And I do this 3 times on the side, and then I also do it 3 times on the top, just like this. It feels really good. You can even try this on your own head. It of course feels better when someone else does it, but if you just pull your hair back with some pressure from the roots right at the hairline there, it feels really nice and relaxing, and it's a great way to end off your head massage. It's not nice when something ends abruptly, and this kind of gives my clients a signal that their head massage is coming to an end, which is nice for them to know so they can just mentally prepare themselves for that because it's so relaxing. So I'll do that 3 times on the side, 3 times on the top. And if it's a haircut appointment, their head massage is now over. If it's a hair color appointment, their bill is significantly more, and I just like to incorporate a little bit extra with their head massage, so I do. So if it is a color appointment, I always include a treatment with every color. So at this point, we're doing this head massage with a treatment. Then I take this guy. This is a Moroccan oil scalp massager. It feels really nice, and then I just go down the head like this, and I start off on the top always and go down the side, and then I'll go down the other side, and depending on the client and how I'm feeling and how I think they're feeling, I'll start to go under and make my way around, and then I'll go back, and I just go around their head. I try not to miss any spots, and I do that about 3 times. I think 3 is pretty good. Any more and it might make their scalp irritated. I'm not pushing this very hard, but I am applying just enough pressure that I know it feels good. I tested on my own scalp and a couple of clients that I asked for feedback before I started incorporating this. So I knew I was giving a good service and a good pressure and not causing any irritation. Given that I do use this after a hair color, I do sometimes check with the client that their scalp feels okay while I'm doing it, because I don't know, it's a scalp massager and they just had hair color on their scalp. So far I have had no issues with that causing any irritation, but I just like to check in with my clients a lot to ensure their comfort, because people won't necessarily tell you if they're uncomfortable. In fact, they probably won't tell you if they're uncomfortable. They'll just push through. But I want to make sure my customers are comfortable, and I want them to be comfortable to talk to me about their comfort level. It really helps, again, create client loyalty, because they know I have their best interest at heart, and they know I want them to be comfortable and I'm here for them. So if this was a hair color, like I was saying, I go over it with the head massager there. After I'm done with the head massager, I no longer use my fingertips. That would be too sensitive after the head massager. So at that point, I just do some more of these on the top, on the sides, and I'll do that for sometimes a minute. And then sometimes I like to just grab the hair down here and play with it a little bit. I don't want to make my client's head feel tickly or anything. So at the end, I always go over it like this and make sure that I do 3 really big ones like this, where I make sure that if they have any tickles on their head or anything, I've got it for them. And then you rinse out the treatment, and that's it. Now, usually when I'm done my scalp massage, my clients say, "Oh, that was so lovely," or "That was so nice." I have had some very exceptional compliments on my head massages over the years, and they definitely do help me build up a clientele quickly. I promise you, if you stand out with your head massage, it goes a long way with client loyalty and retention. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like the video, leave a comment. It all helps, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm working really hard to make you guys some highest quality videos that I possibly can. I am a fully booked hairstylist working in a salon, so I'm also a mom. My time is very limited. I really appreciate your support. Anything you can do. Have a great day. Bye.